And last but not least, you want your corn knee-high by July? Better get the plant, boys.
I make my living off the land.
This corn's beautiful.
With aching back and calloused hand.
A lot of things gotta go right, yeah.
The old man said you reap what you sow.
This could be some pretty phenomenal numbers.
Out here in these fields of gold.
Why it's called yellow gold.
I work harder, work harder. I get the job done, yeah, I'm a farmer. I don't back down no matter what comes my way.
Crazy year, right?
I'm an early riser, an all-nighter. Call me plowboy, yeah, I'm a fighter. Ain't gonna stop till they put me in my grave.
It's gonna be a fun year.
I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior.
This episode of Corn Warriors is presented by Pivot Bio.
The field we were just in, I got into a couple areas where there wasn't any water, and you know, it was 100 bushel or less, and where we did have waters are in the 300 bushel range, so big difference. So we got Jake Paul alongside here. We had some stuff in the 300 range, and 22-23%. I thought we were going to get up 350 on some of it this year. It looks like 350 bushel corn, but guess we haven't got the weights back yet to see what it is, but missed the mark the way it looks. Still really good corn for the year, but we thought we were going to have a little bit more. When we're thinking ahead and trying to always think about the next step in yields or in our farm management, we rely a lot on our own experience, but we also do a lot of research. You know, we research ratios with different fertilizers and fertility aspects. We research hybrids, obviously. We change the way we're doing things practically every year. Sometimes that doesn't always work, but we'll never get to that next step if we don't do that. We definitely test ideas first, and after I come to believe it is an asset and then it pays on most or all acres, we incorporate it then into the entire operation. And we have found certain things that we've done that with. And we've also had failures on things that you know, we don't incorporate, but that's the only way you find out. It's the only way you learn. So 2020 wrap, I guess. It's 2020, we all know about that, right? The year of ups and downs, and a lot of downs and weird sideways, and just a lot of hills and curves thrown at us. Overall, you know, it's like any other year, you know, you make the best of it. We had a really good fall, best fall we've had in a while. Geez, it's November 7th today, and we are done with harvest. We were actually done about 3-4 days ago. We're doing really good. We got a lot of stuff already cleaned up and moving along, and even with the lower yields, we're going to do all right, and that makes it look better for next year. It makes it look a lot better for next year. I'm a lot more optimistic right now than I was last fall this time, so that's a good thing.
One of the better products that we've seen come out here lately is Veltima from BASF. The thing I like about this is how long it's going to last in that plant. It can give me a longer window to make that decision. I'm really loving it.
Veltima has the longest residual of any product out there. Let's control something that we're able to control this year.
Veltima reduces stress in the plant, reduces the temperature. Happy corn makes more grain.
Contest field number 1 for 2020. This farm right here, a guy that works for me, he lives in this house right up here at the end of this farm. He wrote down every day it rained, how much it rained. And that's where I got the 29.5 inches of rain in the month of May. If it was a farm that we had that would put up a big number, it would be this one. I'm pleased overall. We're just now getting started shelling. We shelled about 100 acres or so. You know, we've been plagued with weather events. We had the hurricane that come up through here and dumped 4.5 inches of rain. We've been sitting idle for a few days, just hoping that it would dry up. Now we've got a good shot at several days here of good harvest. Big dew of a morning, that's the only thing, you know, it's been 9 or 10 o'clock before we get started, but that's all right. We're about ready to start the gin up. You know, we've got some beans that are probably next week we're gonna be ready to cut. And I've got 2 bean entries in the Tennessee contest there. Who doesn't want to win? Who doesn't want to beat the guy? You know, or beat that guy that sets the bar. It's proven that these high yields can be made. I mean, the cat's out of the box, so to speak. It's a good thing about having Luke. He knows, and he'll help guide you. You know, I couldn't be putting these big numbers up without him. It's kind of like having a lucky rabbit's foot. You know, I know we got some bad stuff, and everybody has it. Everybody's gonna have a farm where the deer's annihilated them, or everybody's gonna have a farm where they didn't get a good stand, and those little things take your overall yield down. You know, overall we've been blessed this year. If we can get through this harvest without anybody getting hurt, injured, any wrecks or accidents, would be absolutely wonderful. We harvested our contest entry, and I knew that we took on a lot of heat in July and August, and the heat was just detrimental to the corn. It's still a good number. It's still a very respectful number. Hats off to these guys that's got these 100-acre farms like Corey Atlee and all that. I'd be as giddy as a little school kid in a big old farm like that. God put me here in this little corner of the earth, and He lets me stay here each day and be attendant to this land, so I'm gonna work with what He gives me.
I don't know how much we're gonna get done. We've been broke down so much. Starting to know our service techs more than some of my own family members. That's pretty cool, but it's okay, I guess. I guess what are you gonna do? It's nothing we did wrong. It's just freak things. We probably have about, on the high side, 200 acres of beans to cut, but I would guess it more around 170. So that's not too bad, I guess. And it looks like we'll have good weather all through the week. A lot of the stuff, we're gonna do the same as last year. But I just can't wait for 2020 to get over with. That's all I know. I'm tired of this. Next year we'll probably fertigate more. I would say probably do more fungicide fertigating, see if we can get that to work. We never did get to do it this summer. It never did work out. We kept having breakdowns every time we went to do it. And so we never did get to that. And I hope I can do that next year. Ah, come on. I'm off the row again.
This has been an up and down year. This year, one of the things we learned is nothing is the same. Normally on our corn, our high population is usually the better. This year, the high population is worse. So we'll rethink a little bit of that. We had a really, really good start in the season, but maybe the cold weather early affected us more than we give it credit, as we're seeing it at the end here. Working with my two boys is great. I mean, they're really, really hard, devoted workers, and they really do a good job of learning things and figuring things out. And you know, it's just a pleasure working with them.
So it's been pretty good working with my brother and dad this year, especially when we see all of our hard work kind of pay off here towards the end of the crop. Nothing extremely unusual though, as we've been doing this a long time, so it's kind of in our blood, I guess. But it's been a pretty good year, especially considering the challenges we faced getting going this year. So.
Yeah, so we weighed one irrigated yield, and that one was substantially lower than we also thought that one would be. We had it guessed around 350, 360, and it was 307. So not really what we wanted, but I guess the plus side there is we only had an extra 150, 200 bucks into the field in acres, so that field made us money.
Pivot Bio, you know, I'm putting them to the test here. I think they're passing. Man, that's some good stuff. I am very excited.
To be fair, the only difference between that block and there was Pivot Bio. It just came soaring out of the ground. It was pretty impressive. So the corn is, obviously you can tell, it awesome.
We started off so good, and we were so excited about the crop. We got some of the best emergence we ever had, and then the heat hit. It got dry on us, and it kind of went downhill from there. But you know, even we got irrigation here, and all our contest stuff's underwater. But even with the water, we just couldn't keep up. We were hitting around 300 bushel on our yield monitor, but just the consistency wasn't there. And as everyone knows, you gotta have that consistency across that whole acre and a quarter to get a good number. Been with Irrigoat for several years, and they're like family. And the way we work together and the relationship we got, it can't be replaced. The family is huge. And you know, that's what drives us to keep going, just so we can pass it down to the next generation. It's not always easy. I mean, it's tough working with family, working with brothers. You got different ideas, but at the same time, that's good having arguments, you know, disagreements. With the expense and all this stuff, I honestly, a lot of times I hate making that call on my own. It's just nice having someone else's opinion to throw at you, you know, too. So yeah, I'd like to thank my wife, Nikki, as well. I mean, Nikki has done all the tissue tests all year long herself. Not just the corn, but she also does tissue tests for Brandon and the watermelons. The boys been right there beside us. Wish we could get them to help on the tissue test a little more, but seems like they like driving equipment a little better. You know, I've said it time and time again, but I don't think it's mentioned enough that this combine is Brandon's, and you don't see him on this camera a lot. But none of this out here would happen without him out here. He's good enough to, you know, teach Dallas, and I mean, everything Dallas knows about the combine is because of Brandon, and Dallas really looks up to him, and we appreciate him allowing Dallas to run his combine. I just wish he'd be on camera more, because definitely couldn't do this out here, what we do, without him. I want to thank Kevin Kalb and the Mac Group. Them guys has been huge to our operation. Chris Weaver has been huge help. Talk to him quite often. Heard rumors of a 5-bean pod over that way somewhere. So it's pretty exciting. Looking forward to hearing his results in Podfathers. He's on top of his game for sure. We're just getting started with harvest. We probably are just shy of 100 acres harvested, so we got well over 1,000 acres to go. And haven't cut a bean yet. This crazy pandemic that's been going on, and we're pumped that we got started, and we'll be even more pumped when it's done.
I've got a whole new perspective on farming now. Kevin saved me probably 15 years worth of data in one meeting.
Don't even look at the expense because you're going to gain that back within 1 year. It's something that you're making a long-term investment in.
We're finally getting somewhere. Combines are rolling full bore, they have been. We haven't had any breakage or stoppage with him. Last time I did the math on corn, we had 4,000 acres left of corn. I'd say we're probably around that 3,000 to 3,200 acres left. A lot, I know that. I know we got a lot left. It's just been waiting on the wet bins. This corn is just not drying down like it normally has. We got a lot of it trying to fall over already. A lot of stalk rot showing up. A lot of ear rot showing up. Just a bunch of fun, different diseases that we're having to contend with right now. We're trying to get as much as we can, but it's a slow burn. There's nothing we can do. And then Mother Nature keeps giving us rain now. You know, we really don't want it. So we're still contending with Mother Nature right now. The field we're in now, the 50-acre field here, it's known for being really wet in the springtime. It's, you know, 3/4 of it was all replanted in June, and it's still carrying an average about 250 right now, so tickled to death with that. I'll take that every day of the week. Great farm, but not a farm we're gonna try to blow the top end off of. So we want to be on the more conservative end, so keeping the population down in that 35, 37 range. And then like this year we was hot and dry, we didn't get the rains, so having that lower population, we're not going to blow off the top end, but we're still protected, we're still carrying an average 250 plus. It gave everything it had to the year, and stock decided it was done. After this, we're heading to the intercropping. We'll see what it did, but definitely could have been better. This season's been very trying, but I feel like every season is. There's so much that can go right, so much that can go wrong. Corn yields have been really good, solid average all the way around. We're not really blowing the top off anything, but I think our farm average overall is probably going to be one of the best that we have had. I just can't wait for planting season. As soon as harvest gets over, we're going to start game planning for next year. We've got a few different tweaks and different ideas that want to try on different things, and just ready to get back out there and do it all over again. After this year, I just really hope that, you know, at the end of the day, I made Ohio proud, put out a good number, you know, because I feel like, you know, being a Buckeye, we deserve to be up front, because that's what we are. We're winners. Looking back, hindsight's always 20/20. Yes, there's things we could have done different, but I feel like I tried to play the cards that was dealt to me the best I could. Some people get dealt pocket aces. This year, I wouldn't say I got dealt 7-2 off-suited, but we're somewhere around there. This is a team effort. There should be 100 people just from this farm on this show. First off, thank you to my wife and kids for all the support, the community. You know, there's just been so many people that is close to me and this farm. We're like family, and it's a team effort.
If anybody was on the fence about doing the advanced yield program, I'd say go for it if you're willing to go outside your comfort zone. There's different things that he'll suggest, but they'll work for you.
may have to go back to planting a little bit earlier. If we really see a bad hit on yield, like next year we come out and plant, and all of a sudden, you know, we wait for the right conditions and we get hammered by 40, 50 bushel from that tar spot on this later stuff, you know, we may have to take that hit and go back to start planting corn early again. You know. Talked to Jake a little bit, off and on. He's pretty funny. I like old Jake. You know, he had bad luck this year with corn green snapping or laying down, but haven't on the phone talked to Eric or Corey. I've been too scared to, you know, from all the crap they've been talking about whipping our butt. So, I mean, I guess when you announce the winner, I guess then they'll give me an earful about that butt whooping they gave us. So, you know, actually, Dan, I talked to Dan just a couple times. It's probably the least amount I talked to Dan in the last couple years. So I really, truthfully, don't know what kind of weather Dan had this year. I don't think he had near the flooding he had. But, oh, yeah, he did have Derico. So every one of the Warriors got nicks in the armor there. It's just who had it worst or who tried to manage it the best or trying to compete with them 400 bushel roots from Tennessee there could be a problem, you know. You know, if you say you got 400 bushel roots, probably means you got 400 bushel corn, and we'll probably say all hail to Eric Reed. Man, that'll be a hard pill to swallow.
I'll text you with what we come up with. Okay.
Sounds good,
Before I call her.
Number 2 looks good.
Is that where the bet is?
1025
Much longer here.
times 12.
No, I didn't walk 2707. Shit.
Okay, you ready for these?
Yeah, I guess.
Number 1 recheck came in at 345.90. Number 2 recheck came in at 312.18.
Really?
Yes. Number 3 recheck came in at 385.44.
Wow. It's pretty good.
That's what we thought.
That's what we thought.
Yeah.
385.44 is pretty good, especially with the dry as it's been.
Kevin's going to basically give you information that is going to put you ahead.
Kevin's very generous with information. He wants us to do well. This isn't about him. I like that a lot.
We can make that entire field average over 100 bushel an acre. With soybeans, every time I think I got $1 million beans, I'm always disappointed. So I think we can get close to around 100 bushel with these. You think you can beat me in soybeans? Forget about it.
We do have two tropical storms or hurricanes coming in the Gulf. Look like they're both going to hit. May get a lot of wind, a lot of rain, so who knows what's going to happen.
I'm confirmed 6th generation farmer. We got 7 or 8 things going on. I only have 9 employees, so we're stretched pretty thin right now. It's just that time of year. Y'all wonder what my day consists of? It's doing crap like this all day long.
Look at the size of that root stem. I don't know if you know it, but I got humongous fat hands. It's not gonna be hard to beat Weaver. He's not even in my realm of thoughts. Like, pick out the worst plant. That should be how Weaver's crap looks.
You know, I'm a 6th generation farmer. Can I keep expanding? What can I do? What am I not doing right? Hopefully I can build on it. No pressure, right?
Talk to Cobb, Brooks, we never stop.